Hi Gemini, welcome to your love reading for August 2017. This month I'm working with two decks as always, but I'm also going to pull one or two cards for you from the Romance Angel. So let's go ahead and get into your reading. One thing I am picking up for you is that some of you are having a really hard time letting go of a relationship. So some of you may have had a breakup during July. It just kind of feels like you're having trouble moving on. But the message for you is to hold on, because of what you want is you're so close to achieving something that you want. For some of you, this can be meeting the right person, or it could be getting somebody back. I just feel like you can't give up because what you want is so close. But I also feel like you're fragile in the month of August. Even if you're not usually the emotional type, usually Gemini is an air sign, and you're mostly kind of, very mental, but I feel like something has you really emotional in the month of August. Okay, so let's see what comes up for you in the cards. That was just my feelings on the situation. This is a love reading for Gemini for August 2017. You have the Lovers. Love reading for Gemini, August 2017. The Eight of Swords. The Ace of Pentacles. Love reading for Gemini for August 2017. Death. Seven of Cups. Eight of Cups. Eight of Pentacles. Five of Rods. Final card. Three of Pentacles. Okay, so the card at the bottom of the deck is going to represent the main energy around your love life for August, and you have the Ace of Swords. So the Ace of Swords does represent clarity and truth, but it also represents that you have to change the way that you're thinking. There has to be a change of perspective. You have to sometimes deprogram yourself from perhaps some negative beliefs that you have. So we will see how this ties in with the rest of the reading. Let's go ahead and take a look at what you have going on here. We're going to take it one row at a time. Okay, so at the top you have the Lovers, the Eight of Swords, the Ace of Pentacles. So right away, bang, you start out with a really positive card. You have the Lovers card. So this is a very significant relationship. This could be a marriage, a strong soulmate, twin flame connection. This is someone that is very dear to you. I do feel like, there's something going on here with the Eight of Swords right next to it, where you feel like, things are not happening. I'm drawn back to the main energy, and it feels like here like you have to change the way that you're looking at this relationship or at this person. With the Eight of Swords, usually this is fear. This is fear of taking action. This is fear of moving on. With the Eight of Swords, it's just like, you're just kind of paralyzed. You're trapped in fear. But you have this really positive message from the Ace of Pentacles telling you that, there is a new beginning for you in your love life and your relationships. A new beginning, a lot of happiness, a lot of abundance. So I feel like, for those who are already coupled, you might be kind of feeling a little blocked. I was picking up before the reading that you're feeling really emotional, and you do have the Seven of Cups right in the middle of the reading, which is, a highly emotional card where they're just overwhelmed by your emotions. But some of you also are feeling a little stuck, like you don't know what to do in a relationship, like you feel like your hands are tied behind your back. But I feel like this is resolved for you because you do have the Ace of Pentacles right next to it, which does mean that you're able, this means you're able to start over. You're being given a second chance, and it represents things really working out, for you in a really kind of unexpected way. With the Ace of Pentacles, this is kind of like, blessings from the universe. So I feel like relationships that are kind of on the rocks, things just kind of magically get better for you. Or you just very unexpectedly meet somebody new, for those who are single and maybe feeling a little trapped when it comes to meeting the right person. Now moving on to the next row, you have Death, Seven of Cups, Eight of Cups, I just noticed the numbering here, 7 of Cups, 8 of Cups, so interesting. You know, and I was picking up before the reading that somebody is having trouble, really having trouble letting somebody go. And ironically, that is exactly what is, you know, here. There's a major life event happening for Gemini. You have death. This is a huge transformation in your love life. This can be a big event. For some of you, you know, it is right beneath the Lover's card. This can represent a marriage for you. But I am getting for some of you, it is a huge shift, a transformation in your love life because of the way that you're thinking. So it could be that for some of you, you're realizing that, you know, so-and-so, you know, is no good for you and you could do better than that person. For some of you, you're changing what you're looking for in a partner. I feel like there could be some type of realization with the Ace of Swords. Some clarity on, you know, what is creating this feeling, you know, of being blocked in your love life. And like I said, you know, with the 7 of Cups here, you're really emotional. And that's what I was picking up for you. And like I said, Gemini, usually as an air sign, you're not really a very emotional person. You're more of a mental person, but I see a lot of emotions here. Perhaps because, you know, there is a choice. And I feel like if there is a choice, you have the goodbye card here. There's a need to kind of leave something behind you. And ironically, you know, you have death. And with death, that there has to be the death of something, the ending of something, for there to be a new beginning. And, you know, it did come right after the Ace of Pentacles, a new beginning. New beginning, new beginning. First, there's a need to leave something behind. I feel like for some of you, when I said that, my ears popped, so those are my guides just weighing in here. For some of you, there's a need to kind of leave a situation behind that is just no good for you. It's just something that I'm getting. And this, you know, this would be a toxic relationship, an abusive relationship. You know when it's time to go. You know when you just kind of feel like nothing is ever changing here. But for others, it could be that, you know, you're choosing to leave the past in the past. This can be leaving behind emotional baggage, but this is the goodbye card, walking away, trying to find happiness elsewhere. This is not a happy energy. This is being really confused and being completely overwhelmed by your emotions. Now at the bottom, you have the 8 of Pentacles. So this represents, there's a lot of work to do when it comes to your love life, a lot of work to do. And I see that you're doing it. You have the 3 of Pentacles. This represents you going beyond the call of duty when it comes to your love life. You're doing the work and then some. So some of you may be trying really hard to, you know, to hold on to this relationship, to make this happen. You're going out of your way. The thing is, there is kind of, you know, a challenge right between these two cards. These are working energies. Again, you're going out of your way to make something happen in your love life. But this represents a challenge with the 5 of Rods. For some of you, I guess, for those who are single, especially, there could be a competition. There could be someone that's interested in the person that you're interested in. But the 5 of Rods can also just mean, especially in marriages, disagreements, arguments, bickering. So it could be that, you know, you're trying your best with this relationship. You're trying your best to make this a happy home. But your partner is fighting you on this. There's a lot of, with this card, you don't really see eye to eye. There's too many differences. But I'm also getting the message, and then this may not be for everyone, but I feel like this right here, where there is a need to move on and say goodbye, it's really emotional and difficult, but it would bring a huge transformation into your life. You're just very different people. With the 5 of Rods, you don't want the same things. You're not even on the same wavelength. You have very different personalities, and your egos clash because you're so different. So I feel like there's someone that's been doing a lot of work trying to make this happen. Again, going beyond the call of duty with the 3 of Pentacles. So I feel like for those people where you feel like there's something very different about you, extremely different. Not that, you know, that opposites don't attract, but I feel like for some of you, the differences are kind of pushing you in a different direction. And that's something that I see here and something that I was getting even before the reading. Okay, so let's see what other messages come up for you. What other messages are there for the sign of Gemini for August 2017? 9 of Pentacles. Love reading for Gemini for August 2017. Ten of Rods. Four of Pentacles. This card keeps coming up for every sign practically. Okay, so let's take a look at what has come up for you. Let me just move the camera this way. Okay, so you are here. The Nine of Pentacles represents you, your personal growth, your goals, your development, what is important to you, your self-esteem, self-respect. There's a need, there's need to put yourself first. And this brings unexpected blessings. It's right next to the Ace of Pentacles. Now, also notice that it came out with the Ten of Rods. This has, been a popular card this month. And this represents the energy of just being tired. Of just, being really overwhelmed by some type of burden. So I feel like it's time to, it could be that this burden is really kind of pushing someone to make some changes. Perhaps to walk away from someone that's not making you happy. You're allowed to look for happiness. This is just kind of like, it's time to move on with the Ten of Rods. It's really time to move on. With all the tens, this represents endings. After a 10 is an ace, which is a new beginning. And you do have that here. You also have death, which is an ending and a new beginning. You do have the Ten of Rods, which means someone's tired and exhausted and fed up. But then you have the Four of Pentacles, which means there's still, the need to hold on. And for everyone, you're going to have different reasons. For me, the Four of Pentacles in a love reading means holding on to a relationship out of fear. Because maybe you don't want to be alone. And like I said, this card and this card have come up a lot in the readings for August. So I feel for some of you, you may be playing it safe. And it could be, in a marriage, it's difficult to walk away. It could be for financial reasons or because of children. But even for those who are maybe dating, you might kind of feel like, you don't want to take a chance, in finding the person that you deserve. So again, since this is a general reading, it's hard to tell. I feel like there's different messages for everyone. Some people, it's just like the burden that you're feeling, the heaviness, just the feeling of giving up is pushing you to move on. And for others, you can leave your differences in the past, but there's a need to put yourself first. With the Nine of Pentacles being here, you have to put yourself first. This leads to a lot of blessings in your relationship. And of course, truth and clarity have to be front and center for you in the month of August. And there has to be a change in the way that you're thinking. Okay, so let's see what comes up for you from this deck. What other messages are there for the sign of Gemini for August 2017? You have the Star. Love reading for Gemini for August 2017. The Ten of Swords. The Three of Pentacles. So this is a repeating card. You already have that card right here. At the bottom of this deck, Death. Another repeating card. Okay, so let's start off with Death, because this is kind of another main energy. We usually have two from every deck. The other one was the Ace of Swords, a new way of thinking. And then you have Death, which, this means a huge transformation. You have it from two different decks, same message. So for the month of August, there can be a significant change in your love life. There can be a huge transformation. There can be a major event like getting married, having a baby, meeting your life partner. That's going to be up to you as far as where your thoughts are, because the Ace of Swords is here. So if your thoughts are on something that is pretty much all over the place and not looking good, then you're going to miss out. Death means that you can start over. This is a card of rebirth. There can be a complete transformation of your love life if you allow it. Okay, so you also have the Star. So the Star is also a major arcana, and it's telling you that your hopes and wishes, the energy is here for you to make them happen, and it's right next to the Lover's card. So you can find that significant relationship if you allow it. And I say if you allow it because you have the Ten of Swords here. With the Ten of Swords, you're finding it really hard to move on, which is what I was saying before the reading. With the Ten of Swords, you don't realize, like, no one's really tapped you on the shoulder and told you, it's time to move on to the next person. or the next relationship. With the Ten of Swords, you're just kind of dwelling on what happened, and you're not getting the message that, you know, it's safe for you to move on. And I see here, a repeating card, Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles. A lot of you are putting in a lot of effort in a relationship. You're going beyond, way beyond the call of duty. You're working overtime to make something happen. I just feel, you know, for those where you know divorce, you know, is not an answer because maybe you've been married for 40 years. There's a need to iron out your differences. But I get a really strong feeling with this reading that for some of you, what you're really trying to do, I feel like your partner is kind of working against you with the Five of Rods being here. With this card, there are really significant differences between you and the person that you want to be with. But again, it's like you're doing everything that you can. And as it is, you already have the Eight of Pentacles, which, you know, is telling me that you're doing work. And then you get this card 2 times. So it's like you're really doing everything that you can to make a relationship happen. But at the same time, you don't realize it, but you're playing it safe for some reason. It's like this relationship is your safe place. Okay, so let me go ahead and get some cards for you from the Romance Angels. I already shuffled them, and I will get 1 or 2. What other messages are there for Gemini for August 2017? Messages for Gemini for August 2017. Give your relationship a chance. Work on your partnership. Okay, so this is going to be a huge sigh of relief for those of you where you feel, like I said, I felt like not all relationships have to come to an end, but I did feel like for some of you, like there is something unhealthy going on where you're trying everything that you can and your partner's working against you. For some of you, this does mean that you're giving someone a second chance. And I really feel like this card really applies to those relationships where you have really been together for a really long time. You have a really long history together. You have a very special bond. This could be a very confusing time for you. Because I still feel like even if you have been together for a really long time, there's some type of huge transformation happening. But if there, you know, this energy is applying to you where you're giving a relationship a second chance, you have to leave the past in the past. Because either way, there's some type of baggage going on here. Someone's really tired of a situation. So in order for you to give this relationship a second chance, there's going to have to be some moving on from the past, and definitely some change of perspective as far as, you know, blaming people, really seeing the truth if you want to have that second chance. Okay, so let's see what other messages come up for you. What other message is there for the sign of Gemini for August 2017? This card keeps coming up for everybody. I'm not lying. You can go back and look at the last 3 readings. You are the 3rd sign to get this. Love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. So this card is telling you, put yourself first. You know, and with these, you know, 3 of Pentacles down here, I'm going to bring them up again. You're doing too much. You're giving too much. You're compromising your integrity in some way. In some way you're playing it safe. Like a relationship is your safe place, even if you don't realize it. There's a lot of work being put into a relationship. And what about you? You're not putting yourself first. You do have the card of independence and self-reliance. You have the 9 of Pentacles. And again, this came up for another sign somewhere towards the end if you go back and look. So again, you are being emphasized that you have to think of yourself. So relationships will not work unless you are thinking of you first. And I feel like self-respect, I don't usually go with what Doreen puts on her cards, but I feel like self-respect is going to play a huge part in your love life. If you're letting someone walk all over you when you're just kind of, you know, turning the other cheek, you're doing something that's compromising your integrity, things are not going to work out as perfectly as they can. And I feel like they can work out perfectly because you have the star, which represents your hopes and wishes. So I feel like you have to do what is right for you. Do yourself good. And even if that means that you put someone on hold or you need time to think. Okay, Gemini, this has been your love reading for August 2017. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will speak to you again next month.